And we're back. Back-to-back Overwatch action is what is on the docket here today. And just like every Thursday of our regular season of the EGF, FBI Tugboat here, my man Sir Waltham over here, got Aeon out there producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier, and we do appreciate that. William and Mary, University of Cincinnati. Break down this match a little bit for me, Sir Waltham.
So this is going to be one of our more mid-table matchups here. We're going to be seeing William and Mary coming in with a 1-2 record, a Cincinnati with an 0-3 record. So Cincinnati here has significantly more to gain by coming up with the victory on this, wiping that 0 off the board. At least for me, and I imagine for most competitors, having a 0 in your wins column is always a little bit more mentally breaking than just having one more point in your wins column. So Cincinnati definitely looking to gain something here, more so than William and Mary. As we look at the rankings between these two teams, William and Mary sitting around that 14th place, Cincinnati right around 20, so not a huge gap between these two teams, but still definitely some work to be done by Cincinnati. We will be starting on Busan, as has been the trend for these games so far.
Absolutely. Running through these teams, University of Cincinnati, Speedy, Kevin the Ox, Lake, Shrimpman, Peach, and Lightning making up your University of Cincinnati squad.
Yeah, gonna be a good look. William and Mary, Ratchet Knight, Unique, Max for the win, Rival, Nuklama, a Laundry. Gonna be coming through a laundry list of players if you're asking me, but now we see William and Mary coming out with a dive look. Both teams coming out with a dive look. It's gonna be that Soldier versus the Echo coming in between these teams.
Back to the middle, we saw both of these Busan matches start off here. No reason to believe it's gonna go down anywhere else. Little dive action from Lake. Almost able to get out from that one, but no, a Discord Orb on top. William and Mary looking pretty sweet right now. Single down, no res. Now looking to get involved. A purple's not going to do anything against a huge wrecking ball with temporary shields on the outside as well. Almost gets the... And on top of this one, the Peach res comes in and gets to the Ana. Perfect play here from the supports from University of Cincinnati. As I say that, Speedy dropped in the back. Unique doing their best Lake impression, doing fantastic efforts from the backfield right here. Oh.
And it's going to be an almost dive into the trains as William and Mary are going to be taking that first cap, taking it upwards. And Lake, yes, did get caught out early on in that engagement, but the reason they got burned down so aggressively was that the rest of University of Cincinnati had already started rotating towards point, meaning Lightning not able to cover them. Speedy not able to provide a little bit of damage to anybody who peeks a little bit too errantly, and because of that, Lake taken out early of the fight. But Max setting up for a big pile driver off the back end now.
Yeah, now the team's rotating all the way in. Cincinnati on point as well. Get up to about 80% on this. Stun it more. Max almost not able to get out of this one. A health pack, not the reward for that. Ooh. The sticky bomb just planted and turns into a mine right there. Unique failed on that one. Peach, their work cut out for them. A Valkyrie on top, and now Ratchet coming in the tack visor, forcing back members, whipping this one around, taking out a Diva and more. Now focus onto the Lake, pushing up through this one. Minefield vested as well from Max. Max pretty much lived over on that outside area, now rotating in, big health pack and more. The two self-supports look from William and Mary has really paid off so far. They don't even have a reason to drop these support ultimates, because why would they, right? They're still taking progress.
Well, we hear a lot of the pros talk about this, how the supports... These two supports specifically can feed each other so well. A Laundry can just make enemies so fragile, so vulnerable, especially when there's no shield like there is on Cincinnati. As well, Nuklama can protect a Laundry, making them a little bit less susceptible to dives, to high burst damage, anything like that.
Once again, the backline supports from University of Cincinnati just swallowed up in this one. Transcendence out's gonna save a Laundry, but not Max FT dubs. Ratchet falls to Speedy in the back. A res did come through. There's a self-destruct and a clear point for right now. And Speedy, not something you see from high-level Cassidy players very frequently at all, right? Looks for an errant shot at him.
Yeah, just a bit too excitable there. Gets peeks it just at the wrong moment, thought that the self-destruct had already gone off, misses the shot, gets taken down, and that's just the gamble you take sometimes. But now at University of Cincinnati, gonna be having the self-destruct, so an opportunity to zone, force William and Mary into an uncomfortable spot.
I gotta ask, if you're like this as well, like, whenever you see an Ana lining up like a super, super long sleep dart, I don't even care who I'm pulling for, I always wanted to hit. I literally always wanted to hit, you know? Self-destruct, the top, lands perfectly angled out. Alondri was trying to use this cover to their right, not going to match her. Yeah, that's actually not a look we're gonna see very frequently either. Good call there from the producer, because I promise there are voices going on in my head, people. That the self-destruct is enough damage to, and spacing wise, right? Break that one down for me, Mr. Walton.
Basically, self-destruct has enough knockback to knock down certain characters without killing them. Happened exactly to the Wrecking Ball player there and just sent them off the map into the train cars. But William and Mary still having the resilience here. Going to be overtime ticking down. Mercy not quite able to get onto point, although not stuck with the pulse bomb either.
I thought that was the perfect stick right there, like little drive-by shooting from a tracer. But William Mary, 100 to 60 on that one. I gotta say, I liked William Mary's like the resiliency, right? There weren't many team fights they were willing to give up, and the ones they did, it was like, this is unwinnable. Like anything at this point is just ultimate feeding situations. Go ahead and get on out, come back to this one. And 100 to 60 is not something to really look down upon by any means.
I would certainly tend to agree. Again, William and Mary are just set up to handle Doggo are just set up to handle a dive a little bit better, particularly with Nuke Llama. Again, Brig, kind of the idealistic anti-flank, anti-dive character, and everybody on the University of Cincinnati was ready to try to get those jumps in.
I love the tech that comes involved with shooting under like the little lip between the drum here and like the supporting factor. Oh my god, Lake failed as well. I gotta say, Sir Waltham, Lake has just not had a whole lot of luck on these. I mean, luck, skill. I wouldn't call it skill. At a certain point, it is luck. At a certain point, it's bad positioning. At a certain point, it's kind of teammates. But nothing has been happening tank-wise for Lake.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we see with teams right around this area. Their cohesion can suffer just a little bit, and unfortunately, all it takes is for a little bit of miscohesion and your opponent to sniff that out. I mean, look at that. Lake obviously not playing with the teams currently, although trying to be on site. That's not going to quite be enough. Nuke Llama getting hacked, but not going to be enough to take them down.
Contest coming in. This one going for the wave William Mary for the few seconds because obviously they want to take as much progress as possible. First team fight going to 21 damage.
21% indeed for Cincinnati. Oh, Speedy almost having that EMP online, and can guarantee that if I were that Sombra, I'd be looking for that Zenyatta Alondri to take down rather quickly, hit the EMP, immediately focus them down for that remaining 50 HP, and we'll see exactly what can happen here.
Unique was sneaking. He's found out now, though. Minefield out, invested from Max. A hit the other way would have been a little bit better to hit towards minefields in the middle right here, but that's actually going to be a nice hit. I'm not sure if that was Shrimpman okay, yeah, no, that was Baby Diva taking a long walk off the short pier.
Just for that quicker reset, trying to find something. Unique still has this pulse bomb in pocket. The sneak not successful last time, but that means they get to keep their resources for this time around. Tiptoeing around these corners, seeing what they can find. But as again, that EMP still going to be in the mindset here. A lot of ultimates for William and Mary. EMP goes out and immediately, like I said, Alondri taken down.
This team fight's like moving too fast for Unique, even if they are sneaking. A lot back to it as Kevin the Ox showing up on the Reaper. Got some big shoes to fill hero role wise there for that for the Reaper guy, to say. What? Oh my! The shimmy shake. That was if Wrecking Ball has any ankles, they do not anymore. I've never seen a Baby D move like that. That's like some Apex movement right there, especially once you get, you know, you get kind of fixated on one side and then like the left, right. I'm also a filthy controller player, so. Anyway, moving in. 89%, 90% for William and Mary. They've gotten everything. Self-destruct. Well positioned there between, and that was a boop in two, both.
Oh no.
Unique and Alondri. So Max FTW comes into this with just like the best intentions, but like a sitcom, right? The best intentions can frequently result in absolute tragedy.
Yeah, and I like the continued play of O'Speedy on this Sombra, responding to Max. Should pretty much just whenever they're not actively shooting, have that right click engage, that hack ready and primed for the second somebody hops within your field of view. Going to be using it on the health kit instead, allowing for more resource control, and perhaps more importantly, not allowing Unique to have access to those resources. But, I mean, Cincinnati's given up some possession of point.
You had a fantastic point there, as it was Speedy kind of going towards the rest. The given that Max is the clear target. Oh, that's how you take out a couple supports. 2 birds, 1 stone. If you call the sticky bomb a stone. Unique following it up with a third right here. This is the Unique show right now as William and Mary puts on one all day long. Marginally, I don't want to call it marginally better. I mean, I'd say the difference between 60 and 67 is marginal, but marginal sounds negative. Regardless, the result is the same. William and Mary taking map number 1, 100 to 67 after a 100 to 60 first map on this Busan control.
So far, William and Mary in a very pleasant spot, although not without some effort, perhaps some sweat starting to trickle down their brows as Cincinnati did take them a couple percentages. You mentioned it there, talking about not exactly a one-way system coming through here, but Unique, I definitely think going to be one of these teams, or one of these players that the team of Cincinnati is really going to have to learn to cope with, figure out. I don't know if they have a crack shot McCree player like we've been seeing from the last 2 games, but it's definitely something that they should look to get into their arsenal if they don't already consider it.
Absolutely. I can see the effect coming in from that Cowboy in this next one having like a huge one. We talked a little bit about, I think that was Kevin the Ox who's playing the Reaper, correct?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Yeah, it was either O'Speedy or Kevin the Ox, the 2 DPS players from the University of Cincinnati at Ohio. At the end of the day, I mean, Cassie is literally invented for that anti-Reaper play. You know, Reaper takes out tanks, and the Cowboy beats everybody in duels, right? That's just if you watch Wall, that'd be rules 1 and 2, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it definitely seems to be the case. Cassidy going to be perhaps more essential for Cincinnati to consider moving forward, both on the giving and receiving end of that damage spectrum. But now, as we look ahead, we are going to be taking a quick peek towards our next map. It is going to be Eichenwald, which, of course, can lead to, some more, well, I should say some less divey compositions on that first point. I think we typically tend to see that Reinhardt holding that big main underpass here, Tug.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Classic hybrid map coming in, little unlock a payload, little move or unlock a point, move a payload after that. Gonna see how that comes in. But Reinhardt, Zarya compositions have been on the docket here tonight, all across these teams. It's not a composition that's been ignored by any of these teams of the 6 now that we see coming into this one. Total teams that across the street.
We will get the opportunity to see exactly how William and Mary is going to set up their composition. Max for the win, going to be coming out on the Reinhardt as anticipated, but no Zarya. At least not yet. It's going to be Rival on that Diva instead. A little bit more responsiveness coming through. I can't necessarily say I disagree with it. Diva, not necessarily a detrimental choice, especially if Rival has that a little bit more in their pocket. Although we're going to be seeing some pretty much a mirror matchup between these 2 teams as far as my eyes can tell. The Cassidy and the May, the Reinhardt Diva, the Lucio Baptiste.
Yeah, I'm very interested because I don't think... Yeah, on Eichenwald, correct me if I'm wrong, we have not seen a mirror matchup between offense and defense yet so far.
Not today, yes.
Here on stream. Excuse me. Speed boosted around. Unique position there from Nuke Llama. And it makes a lot of sense to try and get in damage edgewise. And now this is a very quick rotation. William and Mary forced to rotate now. Maywall out, but instantly gets blocked out. Now that's University of Cincinnati's Maywall out. Swing away. Max FTW up in the front. A freeze onto the Diva early. A fire strike away from a lot. And now 90% for Max FTW. His counterpart has 45 now after 2 swings. Unique coming around to the backside. Focusing attention on a Baptiste for the time being. Amplification matrix out from Peach now as this one is continuing on. Diva mech deleted. Now Lake felled by their counterpart on that big charge and hits him against a chair that I did not, up until this point, think hit hitboxes. Max FTW, I'll watch the last match. Well, you can see what that kind of play gets you.
We'll see. We'll see if the celebration is truly warranted this time around. As we take a little bit of a preview here, it's going to be the heavy swings coming in, almost cornered, but then with the pin, I thought the Earth Shatter came in, but it came in a half second later. Not sure that Earth Shatter was necessarily what was required there. You had the Baptiste, you had the Baby Diva, if I recall correctly. Neither of which provide too big of a threat, but already these teams just going head to head.
Sound Barrier now down. Max FTW the first to fall for the side. There's the shadow that we've been looking for. University of Cincinnati finds 2 with the high noon as well. Rival will be one of the last casualties of this. Takes it to the top. Does his best statue impression again. But University of Cincinnati taking this one.
Yeah, and again, if you're on the side of William and Mary, you have that Diva self-destruct, you have that Sound Barrier, you have the Blizzard, most importantly, to perhaps shake members off the cart again for some awkward positioning or awkward rotations if you're able to throw it well enough. Although, Z Shrimpman has the opportunity to make that a null and void statement. Surprisingly, not seeing the Maywall to cut off those tanks early on.
Speaking of Maywalls, you're not going to see a May Blizzard either after the Eat comes in. Rival filling up that belly. Max FTW felled as well. This is looking very similar to our last. Kevin the Hawks taken down as well. Talk about adding insult to injury. Lightning trying to clear this off, but they're still yet to this first point. Speed boost out, excuse me. The Diva action's not really finding much right there. Lightning, we've been on perspective with him. He's just trying everything to try and get out of this. Counterpart Nuke Llama going to be the one who's finding it. And Rival finds one with the self-destruct as well. Felled there very shortly after. Swing away for Lake, getting everybody wet.
As we look ahead, University of Cincinnati still continuing to get these kills, and a little bit of time burned off the clock by William and Mary, but certainly not a lot, and perhaps you want that Diva self-destruct back for it, but you're still going to have a lot in your pocket. You're still going to have that Blizzard that wasn't eaten by Z-Shrimp. You're going to have that High Noon. You're going to have that Earth Shatter. And again, Lake going to be having a tough time to go toe-to-toe against this Reinhardt. Unfortunate.
Mirror all the way. Who's the best mirror on the wall? Who's the best composition of them all? We saw literally like mirror plays all the way through right there. Abilities, ultimates, and more. Shattered down, and Max FTW was still looking for like the ground hitboxes still on that, but that's not going to be found. In the thick of things right here, Lightning failed. High Noon out. A well-timed Maywall at the very end right there, as Unique just able to go absolutely wild right now.
Yeah, the High Noon, the May Blizzard, the Earth Shatter, all doing their own part. Maybe not the Earth Shatter. Everybody from University of Cincinnati kind of evacuated the area as that Earth Shatter was being committed. It still got you that high ground. It got you that space and ensured that if anybody had decided to stay up there, they wouldn't have gotten the benefit for it. But still a expensive investment coming through, and University of Cincinnati is now going to have a lot in their pocket to play with.
Yeah, Shrimpman will have that self-destruct or remake here soon. Peach, the only one without ultimate or close to it. William and Mary on the other side only have a Sound Barrier. Taken to the top. There's a Maywall and more, both sides. Kevin the Yox has this Blizzard. Doesn't want that one to get eaten again, though. Lake felled as well. University of Cincinnati needs to find a way in. That might be it! The freeze and more, but Sound Barrier, excuse me, there from Nuke Llama found them everything that they needed. Shrimpman down, but we're still pushing progress, my man.
I'm willing to cut Lake a little bit of a break there. I'm not sure what happened. They go in for the Earth Shatter. I don't think Max was shielded up at the time, but nobody from the side of William and Mary falls. I'm not sure if it was a stair glitch or if they were just unlucky and hit a bad angle, but University of Cincinnati investing a bit in finding Zilch for it.
Those openings to the left and right side, like the point immediately in front of the Reinhardt on that bridge right there, might have hit that as well. Not 100% sure. I can't imagine that CC was not a part of that as well in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? Theory crafting, we'll have to look at the replay later. That was 100% like a deciding factor in that team fight, so that's why with it. Lake walled off, sectioned out, just bullied by an entire gang of members here on the side of William and Mary. Self-destruct finding a laundry right now, so them fighting with a soft support only. Rival back into that one, and Kevin the Ox felled by their counterpart, Ratchanite, and Was that is that oh no, excuse me. I thought that was the McCree able to get onto the point right now. That was the other one, unique. A lot of ultimates on both sides.
Yeah, indeed, quite a few ultimates. We're going to see exactly how they opt to use them unique. Going to be throwing it in, not finding much, and so far this felt a little bit deathmatchy.
That's what happens when you try and high noon against D.Va on both sides. Sound Barrier dropping, Lightning finding everybody except for Kevin the Ox, and Shredman finding one on the recall. Big charge. Not something you see every day. We've seen it many, many times here. The Reinhardt's charging out the maze.
And now Max trying to just catch the bus at the last minute, but can't do so. He's going to try to go in for the pin, eventually just has to drop themselves off the map. And
Smart moves. Alondri might have benefited from coming down on this one as well. Respawns will come through. Well, University of Cincinnati still put up 2 points, though.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of time has been bought off the clock by William and Mary. Basically, a minute 30 for University of Cincinnati to make it round this last bend. They have this made to try to crack things, but with that amplification matrix, it's going to be a little tough.
There's a shatter to the back. They're landing on a few, but that's way bigger for Max FT Dubs. Now the Blizzard coming out here towards the end. We have the Junkrat, as we have seen on this map here before as well, swinging away and for the fences, finding not one but two. The Baptiste being the next on the chopping block right there. And University of Cincinnati completely dusted.
Dusted, but not done quite yet. One push left for University of Cincinnati. They have that high noon. They have the amplification matrix. Unique has not earned up a tire yet, but University of Cincinnati really has to try to press tempo because that Junkrat will get bolts so much faster than you can anticipate. Alondri as well, also a threat with this Rhine shield breaking. It's going to be a lot harder to avoid that damage.
Amplification matrix, excuse me. This is the move just to come back. Just wait for this to be out. Even if they move this a little bit on, that's fine. Self-destruct over the top. That's gonna catch corner, and Rival blocks that one off and gets a self-destruct kill against the Lake at the very last second. Tire searching right now. Finds the D.Va right there. Stripman so very low, not able to get out from that one. Here comes the last little pick onto this McCree. There's a couple smaller ones. Ratchet Knight gets that one out, and I think, yeah, the Blizzard does land on this one. So still fighting on this. Back to the ice block. Kevin the Ox so close to this May freeze themselves, that Blizzard ultimate themselves. Just a couple points away now. Has it, tosses it out, but wastes it. That is going to be Max FTW again. This match really just came down to Max and Lake just swinging away when the time was right.
Yeah, and very close coming in from Cincinnati, although it's a tale as old as time where you just don't have the reinforcements to come in fast enough on the attacking team. You have a really long walk back. The defense can pretty much just hop out of spawn, dust themselves off, feel good right after that, but not going to be the case with Cincinnati. William and Mary now have just 50 meters past that second point, a little give or take, to come up victorious with their second map win.
Yeah, so looking at opposing defense now, Mind Real is thinking about compositions. We saw the previous one started out with like the mirrors. Now we have anything but that. I really like the Pharah for O'Speedy on the University of Cincinnati. I really like the unique Sombra.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Unique probably doesn't anticipate O'Speedy on this Pharah. They might be expecting something along the lines of a ball or a Doomfist where you can get some really nice setups going, but if you're O'Speedy, you have to be careful not to get hacked out of the literal sky and then just drop into the midst of William and Mary ready to get chewed apart by Ratchet Knight and company.
Done it before. Lucia main mostly, but played plenty of Pharah. It's never a good feeling, let me tell you, Sir Walton.
It's no surprise to me. I mentioned how much I like that Pharah, and I know that there are weaknesses, there are pros and cons to every hero. That is a big one, but Unique going to be going out, perhaps trying to just do a little bit of
Yeah, so coming out from the Sombra here now, the switch onto the Hanzo after the information hath been garnered. Ratchet Knight, turn attention to the skies for a couple seconds. That garners them nothing, but that act will definitely come into play in this next team fight. Nuke Llama investing this one early to try and get team around, but now with Alondri down, they'll have no Discord Orb, they'll have no healing, and now they won't have a Hanzo or a Baptiste to fight this one out.
And it's interesting, we saw the swap from the Sombra to the Pharah, but we didn't I mean, we saw the swap from the Sombra to the Ashe to deal with the Pharah, but then we didn't really see Speedy feel too pressured in that exchange. In fact, able to get, I believe it was 2-3 kills to their credit, 70% to the Rocket Barrage, and immediately taken down, so maybe you didn't even need that to start.
Okay, well, the res comes in as well. Peach covers that one up pretty much as quickly as a Mercy could get to that. Now, Lake is pretty far away from this, and that's the only player that really is dead about 50% or more as of right now. DPS Ultimate's going to be coming online soon.
We see here Kevin the Ox just trying to funnel down these shots in a very similar way to Junkrat, just with a little bit more linearity to them instead of taking an angle. Dragons coming online, but not going to be able to use them. William and Mary might have a chance to crack it open.
Res again, Peach covering that role just absolutely perfectly. Might want to have saved this, though, for another support or a tank. University of Cincinnati dropping 2 early. 3 early if you count the res. Turn attention to the skies. That's 1. Looking for the second. Almost finding it now. Taken to the burst. Finds 1 headshot. 2 headshot. Looking for another onto their counterpart. Almost finding 3. Not going to happen. A pocketed Mercy on the other side. Gets out to it. Now Mercy and Hanzo both dropped. The good idea here for Unique is just to maintain the time of that DPS and that healer on the side. Teammates took a lot of progress on point while they were doing that.
And Speedy, you talk about hit scans all the time when you talk about Pharah's, but Hanzo's arrows a lot faster than they used to be if memory serves. Not exactly a hit scan, but still do a lot of damage despite that potential projectile arc. Now, University of Cincinnati trying to hold up onto this high ground despite being a member down. But Speedy will be there to try to use that concussive blast perhaps to get them up high.
Wow, so the offensive ultimates coming and having effect on both sides, forcing out the transcendence from Melandri for William and Mary, and no value for either ultimate so far. Speedy dropped, Speedy rezzed. Peach has been on top of these just immediately, instantly, every single time. About as good as it gets right there. Bob cornered out right now. Got a lot of damage blocked away on that one. Unique finding not 1 but 2, finding 3! Like just somersaulting through the air on this one, still finding shots.
And let's point out how little the cart has moved through this second phase. Most of William and Mary
Really good point.
have been posted up on this castle. I mean, we're just going to be seeing Rival, who's in that baby diva, just pushing cart solo. Sometimes we'll see a support do it, but no, for now it's just going to be quasi-free movement, and again, just the kills coming through from William and Mary to continue it.
Pop-up shot, Unique right there, finding a headshot on the Lake again. No supercharger for y'all. Now Max FTW does get the supercharger down, but is not able to keep it alive. Dragons down the bottom. That finds 1, but he falls through the thick of things. Card's still moving, by the way. Now they answer it. Okay. Okay. A huge threat it is, a baby diva. I know, guys. I know. You muted there, my friend.
You just have to take everybody else out first because the baby diva is such a huge threat. You want everybody to focus on it, but Cincinnati going to be able to buy some time off this clock, and again, that's going to matter, especially with Nuke Llama going down. That's going to buy another 8 seconds unless this team wants to commit to a fight without immortality and burst healing.
Speaking of burst healing, Max FTW not able to be kept alive. Unique is sneaking again.
Oh no.
He's very good at this.
Do they fall?
No, that's... Yeah, no. I mean, get on the point. Move this on along. Nobody from the University of Cincinnati even acknowledging that one. Now you see like 4 heads pop up over bridge. That's hilarious.
It's a little bit of Splinter Cell looking style coming in here from Unique. just categorically trying to sneak through the vents. I believe I saw the player garrot somebody a couple rooms back, which was weird. I didn't know you could do that in Overwatch, but here we are. Just trying to find, or Unique trying to find any kills they can off the back end of that crafty play. Not able to.
Oh, now there you go. You just gotta wait for that one. Melandri finding their opposing support as well. Now Max FTW switches and more, does not allow the res. Peach has seriously been getting on top of these and just almost superhuman time. But in that situation, it's not going to evaluate anything.
Now, as we look here, the second point looking to be completed with about a minute left on the clock. That Hanzo going to be sending out a sonar arrow. Getting a little bit of scouting, but no Bob to contest. The Sonar are actually taking down O Speedy, so the information and the lethality coming through true there. Now the Amplification Matrix, though.
Oh, the Transcendence just a second too late for the minds of Kevin the Ox right there. As it is, Valkyrie out as well, so Peach still playing this one perfectly. Max FTW out on bottom. This has been Lake, who's been all over this one for a while right now, and I think William Mary just gonna collapse in on this one. Supports down, they only have Lightning left. Shrimpman is there. This is really just a lot of back and forth.
And this is expensive. This might be a mistake if you're William and Mary to commit to this fight when you have so little time left on the bank. I mean, if you had stopped 10 seconds earlier, you might be able to get a solid regroup, but now you're just going to have those quick touch heroes. Your Zenyatta's probably not going to be here. The Bob's going to be quick to respond.
Yeah, Rival taken out as well. Max just swallowed up right now is University of Cincinnati looking to put their first point in. Alondri comes out, the hero, valiant effort, comes up with not. Striking back, University of Cincinnati.
Yeah, once again, we've seen this story, Tugboat. Even today, it's now a 1-to-1 series, and University of Cincinnati gonna be pretty happy about at least coming up with the one, given their scoreline so far. But hey, it's been a day of scoreline change-ups already. Maybe we'll see more coming through here. Either way, a very fantastic Eichenwald. So far, based off the tempo that William and Mary set for that first point, and even up through most of the aggression we saw in Streets phase, Cincinnati was able to burn a surprising amount of time off that clock on the back half of the second phase, which was just, it seemed like a misplay by William and Mary to focus so much on fighting instead of pushing the cart.
Yeah, like, members of William Mary, we saw Unique again, like we were memeing on it, but Unique, that is it's a good investment of a single DPS to come forward, to sneak around, at least touch card a little bit, kind of pulled back the defenses of University of Cincinnati, at least force them to kind of almost like reevaluate where they're going to be holding from, but then just goes on, what, a 20-second run around where he comes out, and once they see somebody, yes, he finds kills, finds headshots, really pops off on the Hanzo, but at a certain point you have to wonder if that time investment and the investment of the hero and the time, like the skill of the player themselves, of Unique, is really worth it at that point. Is it worth it to move 5 meters up and force the other team to reposition, or would it have been better for Unique to have sat back and got these Sonic arrows, got the spam arrows, got the headshots and more in? It's kind of just like, yeah, again, maybe theory crafting at this point, Sir Alton.
Yeah, no time to think about that too much. We're already getting ready to head into Hanamura, but William and Mary might benefit to remember that time's not your friend on the attacking phase. They really have to start focusing those objectives a little bit more, and what more objective-based play can we ask for than Hanamura? I'm going to be expecting that high ground on second point to be such a factor, as we've seen it all through the day so far.
Would love to see the Hanzos back to this, Sir Waltham.
Oh, I absolutely agree. The Hanzo's just very dominant with the massive shield break that can come through. One of the biggest factors of Hanzo is that it's both precise damage that can, have high burst onto targets, as well as it can have immense shield burst with your Storm Arrow ability to just fire. I don't know the damage numbers on it exactly. I believe it's 75 damage arrows each into the shield.
I thought it was 60. I'm not sure. The numbers on those ones have changed as well. So not 100% sure, but the simple burst factor, like Sir Waltham said, really only to be rivaled by members of like Junkrat and whatnot, like shooting in with the frag grenades and whatnot. When you're talking about shield waste, right? Like it is within its role, I feel like, pretty well. So believe it's 60 or 75, not 100% sure, but we'll get that one figured out. Okay, the voices in my head are confirming that's not the last time they told me that I was right.
Well, it's one I can happily be wrong about. Again, that damage still very overpowering if you're a Hanzo. Sure, it's 15 damage less, but you're still firing those things out at less than or more than 1 a second. It feels certainly. That's a lot of damage going into any shield. Either way, if we look at the defense, now we're going to be seeing the Pharmacy combo coming out, Nuklama and Unique. Now, Unique, I don't think we saw on the Pharah. We saw one Pharah. I can't recall. I think we saw Unique on the Sombra when it was Speedy running the Pharah. So now we're seeing a little bit of an invert of that.
believe so. Also, about that point, there's something poetic about a pocketed Pharah up top getting hacked and literally like dying with literally 200 health by just dropping down environmentally. You know, like there's just something beautiful about. There's something poetic about that. It was Speedy at the least utilizing this for like that information sakes, not coming all the way back. Not sure why they didn't use transponder. Whatever.
Just looked like their translocator wasn't quite laid down. Going to cost them a little bit of time, but that's going to give William and Mary enough time to read out what they will do. Of course, the compositions will be shown up on the tab feed by then. Not enough time for William and Mary to change compositions, but enough time for them to develop a strategy.
Here's the telly. William and Mary might be paying the price right now for the high hold right now. Peach deleted, so no res coming into this next. Nacho a hair's breadth away from dying as well. Unique covers that one up, and University of Cincinnati purchases themselves first point for... Whoa, excuse me. A Unique and a Laundry coming back in huge form. What a concussion blast as well. Not even first tick as the DPS superstars from William and Mary show up in every way, shape, and form.
William and Mary definitely looking strong. Not too fooled by Ospedi's teleporter strategy. We talked about it. If that's something you're going to execute, you have to be quick about it. And I'm not sure that trying to fish with that Sombra, scouting was necessarily the option if you're just going to be trying to teleport quickly to point. Kind of gives away the purpose of catching your opponent off guard when they can see what your composition is. Either way, Rocket's still raining heavy from Unique. Very close to Rocket Barrage. Has it now.
A different look at the teleporter strat. Taking them to top lip and then now down on point. Big attempt on the barrage, and then Unique is allowed to just go to town in the backfield while members of these tanks were up front. Now, still not a single tick, Sir Waltham. Max FTW finding 2, Rival finding 1 of their own, even getting super low, uses accretion and more. Still not a single tick. University of Cincinnati holding strong.
Now, it's very close to a single tick, but close doesn't count when it comes to first ticks. We're going to be seeing now the stockpile from William and Mary of those ultimates, the turbochargers, the gravitic flux, amplification matrix as well, Valkyrie on the precipice. Similar on the other side, Kevin the Fox is going to be having that blizzard. Proton Barrier nice to split the field in half, meaning that William and Mary have to get up close and fight within Cincinnati's range.
A decent gravitic flux going to come down, blocked off by the Maywall for right now, but that's first tick and more. Now 50 is Unique, is given an opportunity to pop off on point. Ratchet finds 1 of their own. And even Max FTW gets a hand on that one. That is the 4th environmental kill for Unique.
Somewhere around there, some rather high number for
Ridiculous
this
number, even in 3 minutes.
For this map. Either way, University of Cincinnati now starting to roll some ultimates into their pocket once again. Ospedi going to be switching off that sim, having used the Proton Barrier on to the Cassidy. Now as we see Nacho slowly working to build up that Immortality field. Unique going into Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, Unique finding Lake, the main tank as well. No mercy on the other side means you have a bottled up University of Cincinnati squad with a lot of damage coming in.
A lot of damage and very little mercy as we can look here. William and Mary not letting anybody get away for free. They will take their pound of flesh one way or another. And they're doing a very good job of rotating their ultimates. We're not seeing William and Mary overcommit. They're showing the respect to their opponents as if they were going up against any other sort of professional team, knowing that they still need to have something in the bank in case Cincinnati gets a little bit froggy here, which they might. They're going back to the sim.
Yeah, maybe not a terrible look, but just like that, the downturn of utilizing this is that obviously everybody will know where it's coming from. Max FTW just goes on an absolute tear right now. Almost pulls the sim on the... What's that grenade called? What is that green grenade called?
The halt?
The halt, there you go, that's right. There's even an exclamation point at the end. Unique sacrificing body there at the end. No value taken for the offenders on point number 1, Hanamura.
Only about 50%.
Oh, excuse me, 52. Yeah, 50. Yep, you're right. My bad.
Either way, no full completion there, meaning William and Mary now have a line drawn in the sand for them. One of these teams will be walking away with a point here on Hanamura and carrying it into Junkertown. William and Mary, though, have a little bit more of an achievable task here. Only about 50% is not that difficult to achieve on Hanamura, especially if you're able to get the first tick for free.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. So this is Yeah, just to clarify the statement, I guess the situation for University of Cincinnati is not like just the tie at best, but keeping them away from first tick is going to be incredibly hard. William and Mary, it's going to be a hard-hitting squad coming into this, and University of Cincinnati is basically looking at multiple minutes with no team fight losses.
Yeah, and no team fight losses. You have to have solid positioning, and you probably also want to keep somebody on point at all times. If Unique is able to get some sneak into the back and put some pressure onto the objective, it's going to force Cincinnati to have to turn their attention away from that, which is going to cause their composition to at least falter a little bit, which William and Mary can absolutely use as a piece of leverage to come forth with the win here in total.
Looking at it, Unique coming out on the Sombra. I'm going to say this is not just for scouting as well. I'm going to say that's okay, never mind. I've been proved wrong before. That is okay. Unique switching on over to the Echo, turning attention to the top. Now looking to waste away shields as members of William and Mary rotate down the bottom. At least trying to find something in edgewise. Kevin the Ox over the top and really just paying attention to this bottom area, and that's really exactly what they need to do. Looking for one in. 30 seconds deleted already. Max FTW investing this shield down bottom. Hall pulling everybody together for the time being, but in Unique shooting back on over the top. William and Mary still looking for a way in.
And they're slowly making their way in. They were able to get one foot in front of the other. Immortality field down now for the University of Cincinnati. And William and Mary might recognize that means Cincinnati only momentarily more vulnerable, but they're not going to be able to capitalize on it before that amplification matrix comes up, and they have to back off soft.
So, I mean, this is exactly what is required for the University of Cincinnati. And they haven't really taken like any significant losses quite so far. Peach has been all over on the Reza so far as well. No reason to believe that one's going to stop. Another attempt from Max FTW down bottom. Now the change around Unique, and 2 direct shots from Kevin the Ox makes that Echo ultimate a non-factor. William and Mary on point. University of Cincinnati now joining, looking for the second shots onto Echo, and that's just going to be a little bit harder to find. Kevin the Ox coming in. Max FTW able to go to town for a few seconds. I think that's going to be it. William and Mary has come out on top of this one. Little supercharger action as well. William and Mary striking back on Hanamura.
A little bit of a turbocharger dance there coming in from William and Mary, but Cincinnati, they tried to cope with that Echo duplicate. They land the 2 direct impacts that was necessary for that. But then immediately after that, you get almost no damage in that you need to, and it's just such a hard time to have to try to resolve and come together for. But overall, you're still not out of this fight if you are Cincinnati. You've come forth with the win on Eichenwald. Maybe you can do it on Junkertown. It's all going to depend on how you take these battles moving forward.
Yeah, and really just going to be determined pacing-wise about who is on offense, who is on defense, but like we said, Junkertown will be back in just a few minutes and have that action map ready for you. And we are back. We're looking at Junkertown next, Sir Waltham. Is that correct?
That is indeed correct if we're talking about the fourth match of the series, which, by my math, 2 + 1, that's 3 + 1 more. That's 4. Yeah, that's going to indeed. It's gonna indeed be the math checking out on that one. Junkertown gonna be up next, and William and Mary probably looking to take their victory in Hanamura and just continue running away with it. Cincinnati, though, I mentioned it before, they put the stop on Eichenwald, perhaps at the I guess result of William and Mary's overt aggression. So we'll see if William and Mary get too carried away this time around.
I'm just gonna cause-effect relationships definitely being examined there. Definitely agree with you, Sir Waltham. Looking at the defense, we have not seen a Widowmaker from either of these teams yet, and we're looking, of course, at the fourth. We are going to be hearing a call for a Gentleman's Widow. I am unsure what that means, Sir Waltham.
It sounds like it's going to just be the teams respecting the Widow 1v1. I don't know how long they expect that to go on for, but
Okay.
quite interesting. Ready to see it.
In the blue corner, we got Speedy pulling out from the top left corner, but in the red corner, Unique. We've seen what they can do. Another DPS is here today, Sir Waltham. We'll see how this goes down on Junkertown.
With that kind of announcing, I better see like a people's elbow or a suplex or some other type of wrestling move come through here, Tugboat. But so far, no. In fact, mostly body shots and make a headshot.
Speaking of headies, looking for another one. Is a shield and front considered cheating?
I don't know. I don't know the gentleman's rules.
I mean, I like Unique's look to it. Solo fighter upon the hill, the high ground here. Gets the first headshot in. It was the least dramatic for a while it lasted. Unique looking for more. Finds a couple shots in there, but a lot of assistance and more. Now that we're looking at Max FTW running through the back lines. And barely able to get back. There's the heady from Unique. It's a solid start. The res capabilities very easily for Peach as of right now.
Kevin the Ox perhaps revealing their hand a little bit too early. Might have wanted to wait to close the gap on that Zenyatta, get some real damage in, but not going to be the option there. Instead, it's going to be William and Mary carving a warpath. And that Tracer forced to recall means that only more cart progress is being purchased. And we're going to see Cincinnati now switch off that Widowmaker. The gentleman's agreement has come to a conclusion.
What happens when you take a mace to the face, right? That's what Brig loves to say. My God. Little ragdoll action there at the end. I like Speedy's change onto the Ashe as well. This is just compositionally better, and the Bob defensive ramifications can't be overstated. Unique almost finding the solid hook shot across the top. Grapple shot, I guess.
That I feel confident in saying that may have been an outplay if they were able to find that, but not the case, so not an outplay. And now for both these teams, it's going to be the minefields to zone out. Ultimate's still online for Cincinnati, and it's going to be the bout.
Kevin gets the invite revoked from the party right there, forced to come back instantly. Great covering this up by Ratchet Knight so far. Grapple shot over the top and finds this one! Might have been distracted down bottom, doesn't matter, Unique will take it. Turning attention to the back, trying to cover up this transcending laundry, or will be soon, I guess I should say. Yeah, and William and Mary still rolling on.
They certainly are, with very little stopping them. 4 minutes as they approach this second point, and they're going to have the tac visor so strong on that high ground. They're just going to be using it even before this fight ends, wearing down that Sigma.
Getting super low. Ratchet Knight almost taken out by the opposing Ashe on the other side. Speedy coming out, getting something done as well. Bob out. Bob providing the defense. I think University of Cincinnati is stabilized. Ooh, no. Lake was not able to get the shield down or more. Still contesting, though. Got the immortality field, but that is not to last. Now it's all up to Kevin the Ox. And Unique only hits heads, it seems.
I mean, yeah, you don't miss when you're Unique, apparently. But now we're going to be seeing them try to go on top of this fidget spinner area.
God.
How do you analyze that, Tug? As a color caster, what do you say other than good headshot?
I'll say, you know, I I feel you feeling yourself, but going up against a Sig from the bottom after you drop down is not the move. So, solid value, but defense is going to be able to get back to this one very quickly. Kind of negates the value that you took earlier from a really solid headshot by Ben getting hyper aggressive. It is what it is, though. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Still rolling on here for the William & Mary offense. Ratchet Knight really just trying to find a way in, a good angle on this one. Realizes there's a Sigma out there, and that might be a better target. Looking on towards Lake over the top. Baptiste dropping down. That's Nacho joining the rest, and Unique, once again, can only hit heads.
And this is wild. It doesn't seem like University of Cincinnati have found anything to deal with Unique, so they're just kind of having to outkill the pace that Unique's able to get those picks with. Yeah. And they're doing it right now by playing this hard cover. But as William & Mary push in, they may feel more pressured to leave that cover, this Mercy included.
Yeah, if I'm Peach, I'm not comfortable even showing like a couple frames of my head on this one. Kevin the Ox sends one across the bow right there, just kind of letting them know Unique is there and Overwatch and all of this. Speedy trying to get something going, coaches away, not going to happen. Rival now showing up on this one. Discord Orb and more. That's going to be. Oh, I thought that was the attack visor for a second now, but Kevin the Ox has held that. Rival taking a lot of damage, forced to come back. Not going to see attack visor here soon either. Not going to see a Immortality Field or Amplification Matrix either, because this is Unique's world and we're all just living in it.
Yeah, you're not going to see many signs of life coming in from the University of Cincinnati as well. 3 minutes left on the clock for William & Mary. No ultimates online. University of Cincinnati has the literal war chest coming through. 6 ultimates ready to fire, but what do they decide to go for? I mean, if you go with that tag visor, you have to risk getting your head taken off and having that thrown away anyway. The Amplification Matrix is going to be the option, though.
Gravitic out, Gravitic down. And Diva Mech out, but Speedy has been felled. Peach tries to get to it. Peach does get to it. Kevin the Ox gonna be given the back the other way. Oh my god. Okay, no, sorry. I thought that was Kevin the Ox with the attack visor pull out and getting beaten out. It was not the case. Transcendence from a Laundry, the only ultimate online for William & Mary after Ratchet Knight comes through on this one. Speedy finding one with the Bob, and that's just a perfect placement of this Bob. That Speedy's placement on that one. Yes, the supercharger was nice. It was Speedy's Bob that won the day for that.
I definitely have to agree. The contest, the kills, the damage all coming in, setting up for another shot from Speedy. And William & Mary still not able to build up too much. They did have to use, or they did feel it necessary to use that Transcendence from a Laundry moving ahead, and that's going to cost them. But Unique, again, starting off with a good entry.
Max tried to get the seismic or the slam down there to try and get Peach away from the res, because this has been just the course of events so far. Yes, Unique might find a solid headshot, but the res is always going to come through from Peach on the other side. Kevin the Ox doesn't find a whole lot with this tack. Turning around, trying to find Ratchet, now giving Unique the business, dropping down. They get time to charge this one up. That's going to be bad moves. Now looking on the inside, Unique having a little bit more support on this one as Max FTW and Ratchet join them. Flail out. Nuke Llama able to get away for right now. Still looking for heads. Unique. So low. Nope. The Mercy Pocket going to come out on top of that one. Speedy taking it to the outside as Max FTW falls.
And if you're on the side of Cincinnati, you have to feel a little bit more comfortable committing 2 players in Kevin and Peach to just dissuade Unique and pull Rival as well. That's just a little added bonus in there. Getting effectively no value for that Widowmaker pick because of the aggression we've seen come out. You can't rely on it all the time, but this time it worked.
Destruct, that's a decent angle, landing down, taking out Nacho after Rival, perfectly timing that one. Nacho had the line of sight, failed, and Peach tries to find a little port in a storm, a little rest for the weary, and that is not the place for it. Ratchet Knight with the attack visor up top will have a fantastic positioning on top of Fan to go forth at this one. Speedy and their Bob gets taken out. 10 seconds to go here, only 4 meters though, Sir Waltham, as Ratchet Knight now pulling this one from the top. Taking the Diva initially as the target, now turning attention. Speedy finding a nice headshot after Kevin the Ox does fall as well. The res came through, the Rissa, and now this Baptiste is going to be the last alive. Nacho taken out. Everybody pushing this one in for William & Mary at the very end.
University of Cincinnati, I have to give it to them again. A solid hold coming through from the back end of third point. They bought a lot of time off, just knowing how to play around that Widowmaker and really try to put some pressure in Unique, or in even better case, or in even dire cases, when Unique is able to get those kills, they know how to mitigate it, allow perhaps for some time to be bought, not allow for William and Mary to push onto them. So University of Cincinnati slowly learning here, but not quite at the rate we would hope.
When you play this game so much, I think sometimes you kind of feel, or at least I know, don't really pay attention to everything. I'm not sure if I've ever actually looked at the payload on Junkertown that much. Like I knew it was like actually like a payload and this like actually like, you know, equipped to blow up and whatnot in accordance to Junkrat and Roadhog's plan, but did not notice it's actually strapped all the way down like that, the timer and everything.
Ready to blow, as they say. But both these teams now going to be looking to have one more go here on Junkertown, potentially multiple, but at least right now for the start, one more to go. Cincinnati going to be leaning in on this attack, and Unique still sticking with this Widowmaker. It looks like Speedy might be meeting them once more.
Oh, yep, there's the plan. Simple as that. Looking at teams coming out on this one, Kevin the Ox getting super aggressive early, Speedy getting the damage boost, and so far the respect being given. Now taken outside, Unique now knows that Speedy is there. The hit up was almost some two prime heads for the side of Unique, but no value on this one. Lake felled in the back. University of Cincinnati fighting this offense 5-6 for right now. Excuse me, make it 4-6 after the big round noggin on Zenyatta. It's popped easily from Unique.
And part of me wonders if there was a better way for Lake to take that engagement. We saw them going for the pile driver, trying to set something up for Speedy, and then wrap around the back end of this building that Max is currently in. I wonder if they just go down main, they can get a little bit more advantage from their Widowmaker, from their supports, from Nacho perhaps, and not drop there and still maintain that utility. Hindsight again, that 2020 vision, but so far going to be providing very little benefit as Z-Trent next to go.
Yeah, not going to see Sigma dusted off a point that quickly very often. Cincinnati's offense is done. Be foolish to push this without their tanks.
We now get a look here. William and Mary continuing to just hold up, not letting that cart even be anywhere near contested, and a large amount of it is just off the back of Unique. Anybody who steps within it has that risk of their head just getting taken clean off.
Well done, classic Brig on Tracer. Counter pick right there. Card moves for a few seconds as Shrimpman comes up to it. Now the tanks of William Marriott is doing a good job of badgering in the back. Once again, Max FTW felled. Ratchet Knight finds kill on the other side, but Rez comes in, so fighting 5-6 for right now. Speedy finding their counterpart for right now. Everybody finding headshots on this as Nuke Llama gets involved in it again. Last little bit, and there was Lake actually getting another one. That's gonna be the shield dusted but used well. Lake now kind of out by themselves. Kevin the Ox sectioned out as well, so University of Cincinnati might be taking progress, but this is not to last.
Yeah, this is very much a Pyrrhic victory. You don't get too much benefit from this temporary movement, especially with Unique posted so high up. I ask you, Tug, aside from Speedy matching these headshots, who can really deal with this Widowmaker? Nacho's getting taken down. Nobody stands a chance.
Honestly, I would not be against a Shrimpman switch from the Sigma on over to a Diva. It just seems like it might be something that would go with their composition a lot. You can dive onto the Soldier. Yes, they can run away, but you can dive on the Soldier and dive onto the Widow as well. It's not bad things that you can do against the Zenyatta. It just checks a lot of boxes, the Diva does, right?
Yeah. Yeah, one certainly has to agree. And as we look ahead, getting towards these last few fights, William and Mary only having those support ultimates online. Cincinnati gonna be able to use that Gravitic Flux, but again, those support ultimates might make it null and void. That Transcendence gonna be healing everybody up as soon as they touch ground. And even then, if you do get hit by the Gravitic Flux, you have to worry about those snipers coming through. How easily can they take advantage of those still targets?
275, Zenyatta is a bad Zenyatta. We'll see that. William and Mary utilizing the rally, and that's it 30 seconds. University of Cincinnati very close to their third loss. University of Cincinnati very close to their first win.
As we look ahead, it's just going to come down to this last fight. U of Cincinnati has a lot of ultimates still on the board. Attack Visor, Turbocharger, Gravitic Flux. You can see Max waiting for that pile driver, preventing anybody or as many people from getting on point.
Driver there. Supercharger the first focus of attention. William and Mary finding a unique headshot on the Strip Man. Lake dusted as well. That's the tanks, and it's just a slow burn at this point. That is kind of indicative of our Junkertown match so far. It kind of seems like that was William and Mary's kind of go-to, just kind of the slow burn, just apply pressure and wait for something to pop.
Yeah, and so far, William and Mary, well, I say so far, that was the third map that they needed to win, but looking very strong here against Cincinnati. Again, I feel like I have to acknowledge the mistakes that were made, and when William and Mary lost their map, it wasn't because they got outplayed by Cincinnati, it was because they just lost track of time. They perhaps fought a bit too aggressively on that Eichenwald castle, and it led us to this point of it being a 3-1. Taking a little bit longer, which I'm sure the players don't mind. We don't mind. But it can start to wear on your abilities, make you be a little less sharp, although it certainly didn't show on Junkertown.
It certainly didn't show for the likes of Unique and Speedy, both of which were popping off at individual times on this Widowmaker player. As it is, that is going to be the second 3-1 match we had here on stream as well. William Mary now improving to that even 500. University of Cincinnati coming very close to their first win, but unfortunately a drop all the way down to 0-4. Now we will have a William Mary interview coming on in for you guys. Mr. Waltham has something for you before we go.
No, stay tuned.
And we're back. Sir Waltham here with FBI Tugboat. That's me. We got Ratchanite, one of the hot star players here of the William Mary squad, to come on in and give us a minute of their time after the game. A 3-1 victory it was for William and Mary. Ratchanite, you with us?
Yep, hi.
How we doing? Congratulations on your 3-1 victory. You got Sir Waltham here for a couple questions first.
All right, Ratch Knight. So I'm going to start by asking a question that I like to ask a lot of teams. What was your mindset going into this? Was there a lot of preparation on William and Mary's end for Cincinnati as a team, or was it more so you just have a core way of practicing that you just honed in on?
Absolutely. We do certainly take a look at the other teams to do. And of course, we practice the map pool specifically. So yeah, we're very much on top of it. It's big focuses.
Well, I mean, with that focus, I think we're definitely seeing the fruit of the labors come through here. And as much as I want to talk about the good, as much as I love talking about, the things that your team did well, I want to ask you about Eichenwald, because that was one map that didn't quite go you and your team's way. Do you think that just looking at it, fresh off the map, there are any things your team could take away from as to, improvements that might need to be made?
Yeah, it's tough. Historically, our team is not good at Eichenwald, and we consistently struggle on that second point. That's one of our weakest maps. As a team, we're pretty our I guess performance is pretty dependent based on how well we play the maps. And that map is just one that's super tough for us. We continue to go back to it, and we certainly will after this game. Again, we'll certainly go back to it to look for arrows. Off the top of my head, though, I doubt I can make any reasonable reasons why it might have gone wrong. I have to take a look at that in post.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what I wanted to kind of shift attention to, we've seen the present. We saw the result here. I want to talk about the future here. Is there any team in particular that William and Mary as a whole, or you as an individual Ratchet Knight, are really looking forward to playing in the EGFC?
I don't know. I like to take it one step at a time personally. We come to game day, not expecting much, expectations low, blind in some parts, but that's my philosophy. So I don't think there's any, specific things I'm looking forward to, except the end of the year tournament, stuff like that. But in terms of specific teams, no, I don't think.
Just keeping it one day at a time, right? Just keeping it one day at a time, correct? Just kind of keeping that mentality. I get you. No, you're totally
one day at a time.
You are totally good. Ratchet Knight, I want to congratulate you on the 3-1 victory again, and thank you for coming to give us some of your time after the game. Do you have any shout-outs here before we get you on out?
Yeah, go check out our Twitter. We posted it in the EGF channel. It's at WNM1. So go check that out.
There you go. Heard it here first. Thank you again, Ratchet Knight. Congratulations on your victory. Now moving on forward, Sir Waltham, I do believe you will be in with this next match commentating with another goated caster, but I will be out. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. The audience unfortunately hasn't seen the last of me. You can't get rid of me that easily. I will be in with Dryad. She'll be hopping in here right after you. So folks, make sure you stick around. You're going to want to catch it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.